35. Bow. Only small basement seeds grow in the basement. Lisa loses her child, but I am asleep. They tell us the next morning, and we sit with Lisa as she rests, lean our cheek against her shoulder, whisper that we think she is a good Lisa. I don't know, says Lisa. I barely had my period. I don't even know what I've lost, she says, relieved that her stomach doesn't hurt anymore. But Eva's baby stays in her belly, which is growing. Nothing else grows down here, only Eva's belly. She is flipping through a magazine. Judith has been silent for some time, and now she rests her eyes thoughtfully on Eva. Judith is 7 years old now, but in most ways, time stands still down here. Who is he? Judith asks her stomach. He? It could be a she, too, Eva replies. She looks younger than she did when we were out, except for her eyes, which are old now. They don't belong to a girl or a woman anymore. They belong to an angel. Your eyes, I say. I like them. Judith looks into Eva's eyes, then at her round belly. How did he get in there? In the same way that we all get in there. What happens when two bodies meet? Then a seed is planted. Yes, and it grows in the belly. One day he will come out and be a tiny human being, a baby. But who is he? Who is it? We don't know. We don't know him yet, or her. I think it's a strange one. Who comes here? It was planted here. Uh-huh. Where does he come from? What was he before he came a seed in your stomach? Then he was with God. It's a baby, Lisa snaps from her mattress. One more mouth to feed, she complains. If it's a boy, maybe Dad will be happy and give us more food, suggests Esther from her corner. Yes. When is he coming, Judith asks. In a long time, Judith. Many days will pass. Can't he come today? He's not finished. He has to grow. Are you his mother? Yes, I am. But you are my sister. Yes, and you will be the baby's aunt. So you are important. Yes, not Judith. Was I also with God before I came to you? She then asks. I guess we all were. And so we decided to come here. Hello, yellow bush. Hello, big tree, I whisper. I know why I came here, said Judith. Because I wanted to see your boy, Eva. We have to exist and wash and eat what we have to eat and get from one day to the next. Sometimes there's nothing that feels good anywhere, but it is precisely at such a discouraging moment that something changes. Like when Naomi smiled a little, or when Ada started talking about our lives after the basement, as if it was really going to happen. Come, says Judith, we are going to be born now. First you, because you're a year older than me, and then me, I'm the youngest, says Judith. She has been in the basement almost as long as she has been outside. Although her sisters tell her many things, she does not fully understand that they are real. Outside involves things that are too big, too far away. We were in heaven and we had fun, she says. We were friends, best friends. We were running around on clouds. Judith and I lie down on the floor and look into each other's eyes. A heart can hold so much. There are countries where people don't speak, the same language. There's old Bo and little Bo. Bo wants to go home, but Judith needs Bo, and I will be home still. Several months later, we gather around Eva. She is working feverishly. She gives birth to a little boy. He has a small worm between his legs. We have never seen anything like it. Everything changes when Michael arrives. For a while, it is no longer the basement, but Michael's world. I am an aunt, and I will take care of you, says Judith, smiling happily at her boy. "36, Bo. It is basement night. Our mattresses are where they have always been, in a cluster. 3 mattresses in 3 rows. Eva, Adina, and Naomi have theirs against the wall. Lisa, Esther, and me in the middle. Ada, Miriam, and Judith have theirs at the far end. I look up at the cracked, twisting angels on the ceiling, but I can't see them in the dark. Hello, angels. Sisters' deep, snuffling, snoring breaths rise and fall in the pitch darkness. We have turned off our longing to the minimum level. We have put away our pain and our hopes. We have our lives in the basement, now with TV and video and 3 video cassettes of police films, thanks to Michael's arrival. The TV is incomprehensibly entertaining, and we love it. We have become accustomed to the constant fatigue, the stinking mattresses, the freezing cold of winter. It never gets very hot, even in summer, in the basement. But we never forget that we are trapped. This is something we cannot pretend away. Every day and night we know we are trapped in a cage. It's not right, our souls scream. It is not as it should be. Hello, big tree. Hello, yellow bush. It's Bo. I've always been trapped in a shell, ever since I was born. Now my sisters are trapped just like me, but it's not quite the same. I feel every longing they have as my own. Hello, thin night clouds and starlight. When can I come home? I want to kill you, Adina growls to herself when he has left us for now. I look in the same direction as her, at the locked cellar door. Our king is gone, our king who protects us and takes care of us, our king who wears our fragile lives in 9 rings around his little finger. We may not be able to love him, but we worship him. We feel happy and whole when he gives us the TV, the toys, the candy. We feel proud when he needs us, because he needs us. But we also count the seconds. We wait. We bide our time. We must be able to gather ourselves. The must bear reality, and it's a struggle. Until we get a handle, we are his handmaidens in the rat hole. Adina retreats to the borderlands of the darkness. She does so more and more often. While the rest of us can sometimes feel like a single creature, Adina increasingly seeks solitude. But I cautiously join her. She sits against the wall and pulls her knees up to her chin and sighs. She runs her hand over her short hair, which she cuts off at regular intervals. Arms and legs are just thin tubes. Are we going on a trip, Bo? I am waiting. Take me out to a school or an after-school program or a shopping center. So I take Adina's hand. It's Saturday in the world, I whisper. The fresh breeze feels hard and powerful. Winter is about to release its iron grip on nature because spring is persistently knocking on the door. Yes, Adina nods. A tear rolls down her cheek. I'm going to play soccer with Fredrik. Fredrik was the guy she liked. She wanted to be Fredrik. Have you found him? No, I think he has moved. He is in 7th grade now, somewhere. Right? Isn't that right? What's the date, Bo? It's 1983. Oh, yes, that's right. I'm 13 years old, and soon I'll be 14 in April. I want to get out. I want to own the whole world. I'm so tired of being here. There is nothing to do here. One day I will break the wall. Then I will kill him. Knock him down so he becomes a bloody, slimy stain. Sometimes she wanders off and on, playing with Michael, and doing the cooking and washing is not something she wants to do. She has never played with her older sisters or cared about her younger sister, except for Naomi. She has never liked being a sister. Travel, she says, squeezing my hand tightly. We fly out and search. We fly over the treetops all the way to Stockholm. I have to describe in detail what the young people are wearing in terms of flared jeans and striped shirts and what they say, how they move and how they talk. I follow Fredrik. I repeat to Adina, your mother never lets you drive a moped in the street. It's bloody dangerous. And then he separates from his friends and walks home with big bouncing steps. He opens the door and takes the elevator to the 5th floor. I smell the smells in the hallway. See the dark bench and the pile of shoes. Fredrik goes into his room. He takes out his wallet and examines the contents. Damn, he exclaims. What clothes does he have in his closet? Adina whispers. I turn to the wardrobe and look. Shirts with squares and circles, corduroy pants. Adina and I stay with Fredrik through dinner with the family and watching sports on the TV couch. We return to the basement. Adina looks almost happy. She sits at the table with me on her lap, along with Ada, Lisa, and Esther, thinking about the shirts and the corduroy pants. And we go shopping and the wind blows over in the revolving doors of the mall, and inside there is everything we need and everything we want. And all the food we ever dreamed of, and people. People out there do so much. There is so much. Adina leans back contentedly and squeezes me. Lisa is also listening. She is just a skeleton, her eyes like ancient deep wells. She says nothing, but behind the shadow there's a sparkle. Do you remember the youth group at church? Ada says. We're getting out, says Esther. Okay? Not if, not maybe. We will leave this basement one day. In the basement, every bit of hope is like a golden nugget, priceless, but heavy to carry. Everything takes time in the basement. Fear and oppression make life a walk through something vicious. Our 9 wills and the fears and pain are a jungle to negotiate. But just like emotions and weather, everything changes. Chapter 35 and 36 comments. Here it becomes fictional and poetic, and yet that is how it was, albeit in a different way. I became pregnant. I felt love for the child, even though it was conceived through incest. I believe in something greater, and that love is the greatest. Call it God. However, I distance myself from religions and all the abuse of power, narcissism, and psychopathy promoted by literalism. Maria Strömme's research suggests that there is an enormous bank for us to draw from, and that consciousness exists beyond time and space. Consciousness leaves time and space when one dissociates under great threat. To be held captive by one's own father, to love and be dependent on and look up to the man who also takes everything away from you, your childhood, your security, your self-image, your future, is an overwhelming experience. One is starved because one is constantly being robbed of vital elements, but there's also a will and a breaking point somewhere. I explore various aspects of incest through the sisters and Michael, showing that despite the terrible and dark situation they find themselves in, there's also light, and life goes on in some way. That children are always innocent, and that it is possible to live with the shame.